Hi guys, Rebecca the Explorer here. Today is 11/23/2016. The time is 12:51 Eastern Standard Time. In front of me, I have a map of Google Earth. We're looking at today is New Zealand. Our earthquakes for yesterday into last night are in green. These are the starting of today, and the yellow is from the time that I woke up this morning. Thanks to Chrissy Kinder, who was able to track down quite a bit of them for me. And then I managed to fill in the rest when I got up this morning. So I've been spending some time just getting stuff put on my map. I'll go back to the beginning here for today. It's not a whole lot. It's actually not too bad. The swarms can carry on, but I'm not seeing anything really big and anything to worry about that much. Most of them have been very shallow since the 5 yesterday, which is good. Our first earthquake was a 2.5. It was 13 kilometers deep. If you notice, it was in this place that I marked yesterday. So we'll skip ahead a little bit, get you caught up to speed, because I did most of these right before Dutch came on last night and then finished up before I went to sleep. So we'll come to our first flag, which was a 3.1, and it was 21 kilometers deep. And it was located 15 kilometers northeast of Culverden. As you can tell, I'm still trying to figure out what these are. I'm beginning to think they might be some sort of frac wells that have been protected with something to keep them from causing a problem. Kind of like the ones that we see here in the United States, which sit inside containers. The next one was a 2.8. It was 19 kilometers deep. And also, you'll notice that these are along the river area still. If you notice. So it implies the mountains are moving. The next one was a 3.5, and it was 30 kilometers deep. I don't know why I didn't do the thing here, but I forgot to change my flag. Okay, and this one was 25 kilometers northeast of Sheffield. I haven't done too much studying of this area in particular, area, and it's very country and hilly. You see farms, so it's farm area. The next one was another 3.7, and it was 30 kilometers deep. And there was 2 at the same place here. This would have been last night, and this was today. Next earthquake was a 2.5, and it was 27 kilometers deep. Next earthquake was a 3.0, and it was 10 kilometers deep. And it was 10 kilometers east of Sudden. Our next earthquake was a 2.0, and it was 15 kilometers deep. Next earthquake was a 2.0, and it was 20 kilometers deep. And if you can tell, they're not tossed back and forth pattern still. Next earthquake was a 1.0. I know it's nothing big, but it was still 10 kilometers deep. It sits near the river area. It also is off of the Pejo volcano. The next earthquake was a 3.7. And it was 20 kilometers east of Seddon, and it was 20 kilometers deep. And it's off of this point here at Clifford Bay. Next earthquake was a 1.9, and it was 13 kilometers deep. The next earthquake was a 2.5, and it was 18 kilometers deep. The next earthquake was a 2.9, and it was 30 kilometers deep. You can tell these just creeping down the ridge. The next earthquake was a 3.4, and it was 28 kilometers deep. The next earthquake was a 2.4, and it was 22 kilometers deep. The way that the toss pattern is it looks like they're losing speed now, which is good. But it's still on the river areas. The next one was a 3.8, and it was 17 kilometers deep. As you can tell, there were three almost at the same spot. If I had better here, I'd be able to make out better what's in this area. Next earthquake was a 2.8, and it was 5 kilometers deep. This earthquake was 30 kilometers north of Tahiti. I can't really tell you what's in this area here. I think this is part of volcano. Yeah, in the area you can see where at one point this come out of here. Next earthquake was a 4.1, and it was 17 kilometers deep. And it was within this area as well. Next earthquake was a 2.8. Okay, we're going to speed ahead now to today when I woke up. We started off with a 3.6. These are from Chrissy. The last ones I was caught up with last night, those were ones and zeros. Next earthquake was a 2.5. This is where they picked up some. The next earthquake was a 1.8. And it was 70, and it was 15 kilometers south of Sudden. Now, I haven't really done any exploration in these areas. Never had many earthquakes over here until it's no butte. These are areas I'll have to explore a little bit more. Next earthquake was a 2.1, and it was 23 kilometers deep. And this was on a river area. The next earthquake was a 3.1. It was 47 kilometers deep. And this is where it's moving more down the ridge. Next earthquake was a 2.4, and it was 29 kilometers deep. And this one was 5 kilometers southwest of Hawera. And you can tell that's a gas, an oil plant there. I have my locators turned off, so I don't have all of them on right now, so it's not lighting up everything, so you can see where the earthquakes are at. The next earthquake was a 2.7, 10 kilometers deep. Also in a river area. And all of this is moving. Next earthquake was a 2.4, and it was 20 kilometers deep. And it was 15 kilometers northwest of Quakes. Next earthquake was a 1.9. It was 15 kilometers deep. The next earthquake was a 3.1. It was 9 kilometers deep. And it was 20 kilometers southwest of Quakes. Next earthquake was a 3.3, and it was 22 kilometers deep. And it was 25 kilometers southeast of Sudden. Next earthquake was a 1.9, and it was 13 kilometers deep. and it was located within 5 kilometers of Piquara. And this is Piquara here. Next earthquake was a 2.8, and it was 16 kilometers deep. And it was 15 kilometers east of Sudden. Our next earthquake was a 2.4, and it was 20 kilometers deep. And it was located 35 kilometers south of Portugal. Until I'm watching these come down again. Our next earthquake was a 3.2. It was 26 kilometers deep, and it was 10 kilometers east of Piquara. Our next earthquake was a 2.5. It was 9 kilometers deep, and it was located 20 kilometers south of Sudden. I did do a land on the ground here and look around. I didn't see anything other than mountains. But I'm missing something. Our next earthquake was a 2.5. It was 11 kilometers deep. And it was located 5 kilometers northeast of Portugal. Which is here. That's there. 3.5, it was 32 kilometers deep. It was located 15 kilometers east of Quakes. There's 1, 5, 3 in the area. Next earthquake was a 2.2. It was 19 kilometers deep. Next earthquake was a 2.8, and it was 28 kilometers deep. Apparently, this is not picking up good. Next earthquake was a 1.2, and it was 8 kilometers deep. And it was located 20 kilometers north of Taipei. Next earthquake was a 2.5. It was 25 kilometers deep. and it was located 35 kilometers south of Parangaha. Next earthquake was a 2.5. It was 12 kilometers deep. And it was located 10 kilometers southwest of Tocumara Bay. We'll do this. I'm curious what's there. Sheep. Some. Until the water. It looks like it's dry, but there's water there. Next earthquake was a 1.9. It was 37 kilometers deep. Located 15 kilometers southwest of Wanganui. Sorry, I'm still having my breakfast lunch. Oh my God. Next earthquake was a 2.7. It was 29 kilometers deep. It was located 15 kilometers northeast of Kaikoura. Now, when all the earthquakes stop being so many, then I'll go back to doing the history of the areas and exploring stuff. But for now, I'm doing this to keep up with what's going on, to help keep people informed. This earthquake was 20 kilometers northwest of Kaikoura. And as you can tell, it's quite mountainous. We'll go land real quick so you can see what it looks like. I always enjoy doing this. So you can tell all these mountains are moving because of the earthquakes that have been happening. So it's not that the land's moving, I think it's growing. Everything over time has to evolve. So it's just like a new country, it's evolving. Same, I guess, same way you would say the other continents have evolved. Next earthquake is a 1.7 and it's 14 kilometers deep. And it was 25 kilometers south of Parangaha. Next earthquake was a 2.9. and it was 40 kilometers south of Quakes. The next earthquake was a 2.4 at 11 kilometers deep, and it was 25 kilometers west of Quakes. Next earthquake was a 2.8, 10 kilometers deep. Let's see what this looks like. Let's go this way. You can see where the earthquake hit here. So we are inside. Really pretty. Next earthquake was a 2.1. It was 15 kilometers deep. It was 10 kilometers east of Sydney. Next earthquake was a 2.5. It was 34 kilometers deep. And it was 10 kilometers southeast of Quakes. Next earthquake was a 2.6. It was 20 kilometers deep. Like I said, this one's on this area. Continue. Next earthquake was a 3.3. It was 25 kilometers deep. And it landed at Grasmere Lake. House, Lake Grasmere. Lake Grasmere is actually water, but they've got these things here. Let me see if I can show you. There, one there. I'll give you an idea what it actually looks like. There's a good look of it. Next earthquake was a 3.3. It was 34 kilometers deep. And it was located 20 kilometers southwest of Wellington. Wellington being here. This is Wellington. This is Cook Strait. This is where these earthquakes were going this way because there's still one down here. Next earthquake was a 2.4. It was 6 kilometers deep. And it was located 20 kilometers northwest of the highway. Next earthquake was a 2.9. It was 21 kilometers deep. And it was located 35 kilometers southeast of Haranguha. Next earthquake was a 2.6. at 18 kilometers deep, located 20 kilometers northeast of Sudden, south of Sudden. And still don't have a really good resolution here to be able to see a whole lot. And I have no idea what that is. I just noticed it was shiny. Next earthquake was a 2.4, 18 kilometers deep. And it was 28 kilometers east of Sudden. Next earthquake was a 4.4. It was 11 kilometers deep. And it was 20 kilometers east of Sudden. You see there's cracks here that run out. Next earthquake was a 3.5. It was 17 kilometers deep. And it was located 40 kilometers northeast of Calcura. And again, along river area. Next earthquake was a 2.2, and it was 16 kilometers deep. And it was 15 kilometers southwest of Tocomora Bay. Next earthquake was a 2.3, and it was 25 kilometers deep. And again, you can tell this is along an area where water comes through. The next earthquake was a 2.8, 12 kilometers deep. The next earthquake was a 2.2, it was 19 kilometers deep near Lake Grasmere. Next earthquake was a 2.5, it was 19 kilometers deep. Also within the river area. Next earthquake was a 1.9, it was 17 kilometers deep. It was 5 kilometers southwest of Tigora. Next earthquake was a 2.3, 7 kilometers deep. And it was 40 kilometers east of Tigora. Next earthquake was a 2.2, it was 21 kilometers deep. And it was 25 kilometers south of Sudden. Next earthquake was a 2.0, it was 23 kilometers deep. And it was located 36 kilometers south of Parangaho. Next earthquake was a 2.5, and it was 10 kilometers deep. And it was located 30 kilometers northeast of